Joshua's been the guy that everyone keeps linking your name to, and he's been getting a lot of knockouts. So whenever your name is brought up and I talk about you, everyone says, "Oh no, Filip Hrgovic's gonna get knocked out by AJ. AJ's too fast. AJ punches too hard." What do you feel about people writing you off, like not giving you a chance against Anthony Joshua?
I think Anthony Joshua thinks different.
Yeah.
That's why he don't want to fight.
Yeah.
So I'm here, man. It's about him. He's the star, and he decide what he want to do. So I'm here. I can't be more happy if that fight happens. So I would be happy to prove everyone wrong, and I believe in myself that I can beat him.
No, for sure. Do you think what do you think has changed about Joshua in the last couple of fights? Because he's been seeming to punch through the target and getting more knockouts.
Yeah, I think he's now in the best shape of his life, because in the beginning he was like strong and he had power, but he didn't have so much skill.
Yeah.
He was one-dimensional, and then he started to box too much, and then he become a boxer without power.
Yeah, yeah.
And now I think that everything come together, and he has a power. He box, you know. He's not one-dimensional.
He's complete.
He's complete now. I think he's now in the best shape of his life, and also I would like to fight him when he's the best, you know, not when he's down, but when he is the best. So I will be, of course, very happy if that fight happens. So if that fight doesn't happen, it's not about me, guys. It's about him.
Yeah, yeah.
No one asked me. He's a star, so he decided.
No, for sure.
You know what I mean?
I know what you mean, man. What do you feel makes you a tough matchup for AJ?
You crazy or what?
I mean, I know. No, I know, but I'm saying to the people that don't believe in you, like
this. What make me look this, man? Fuck.
The Croatian muscle.
What makes me confident that I beat him?
Yeah.
My power, my speed, my technique, my experience, my mentality, and my buildiness as well.
Yeah.
And those are the words of Filip Hrgovic. Shout out to True School Sports for the interview. Shout out to 305 in the building, people. Of course, we know Filip Hrgovic is training down in Miami, Florida. He doesn't have an opponent. And, of course, you heard him say that, you know, Anthony Joshua was strong but one-dimensional, then a boxer with no power. Now he's the best of both worlds. And he can't wait to prove people wrong. And if the fight doesn't happen, it's not him, it's AJ. And let me counterpunch. I think that's Filip just really putting his name in with the biggest names that he possibly can. And the biggest name that he possibly can tie himself into is AJ. That's why I don't really think Daniel Dubois will get a shot at Filip Hrgovic. Why? Why would Filip do that? Okay, because, see, when Daniel Dubois was healing from his eye injury from Joe Joyce, Filip Hrgovic was looking for an opponent to fight, and nobody could fight him or wanted to fight him except for Zhilei Zhang. And we all know what happened to Zhilei Zhang lately and recently. So I think that's the fight that he wants. Okay, and I think, you know, he's pretty much up for that fight. I think that's the money fight. He said it himself. AJ's the star. So that's what's going to happen in his book. I think if he wanted it, I think that's what it is, because he has something that AJ wants, in a sense. In a sense, okay? Because AJ could choose not to fight Filip Hrgovic. Okay, he doesn't have to fight Filip Hrgovic because he no longer really needs Filip Hrgovic's IBF fight. Unless it gets, of course, unless that fight happens to, or the IBF strips Usyk of the IBF. That's the only way that makes sense for AJ. Then he'll be a 3-time heavyweight champion on the IBF side. And whoever wins between Tyson Fury and Filip Hrgovic will still have to fight him on for the IBF championship belt. But that may not happen because Turki Al-Sheikh, to my understanding, is familiar and gets along with all the sanctioning bodies. I don't think they have a problem with that whatsoever because of how fast things are going over there. See, the IBF, they don't like to dick around. They don't like to wait too long for anything. If you notice, they don't want to wait for nothing. They ain't waiting for the WBA, the WBO, the WBC, the IBO. They're not waiting for none of those. They just want to keep their own pace moving and their own sanctioning body, which is somewhat, to some degree, understandable. Not always, though. Okay. So saying all that to say that Filip Hrgovic may not get his opportunity to fight for an IBF belt if it stays with Alexander Usyk that has been holding it since 2021 now, ever since he snatched it from AJ. Okay, so I think he's waiting. So there's a lot of variables. But for him saying that, hey, he was a boxer without power, let me address that for a minute. AJ, it was not the fact that he didn't have power. It was the fact that he was trying to learn more boxing strategy, especially after the experiences with Alexander Usyk. You know, when you get in there with one of the best boxers on the planet as of right now, pound for pound, yeah, you're going to want to have to learn. And AJ's always been a student of the game, okay, of the sweet science. He's always been that guy. He loves Canelo. He loves Mike Tyson. He loves Lennox Lewis, his style. But the thing is about AJ, AJ just loves to, who does he play off of? You know, I think to me, he wants to play too much into certain fighters at certain times without kind of using it as he goes. You know, of course, he used a pull counter like he used in the Pulev fight and he used in the Francis Ngannou fight, which was very, very impressive. And he changed the whole fight with that one step. Pull counter. Beautiful, beautiful thing. That should be implemented with the AJ style. Okay. Now Filip thinking, hey, you know, now he's perfect. I think it's a good time to fight him. Filip Hrgovic, I mean, he looked okay, but Mark Damori, who was Mark Damori to rate or to challenge Filip Hrgovic? He wasn't. You know what I mean? So I think he really needs someone else. Daniel Dubois would be ideal. You know what I mean? Because AJ doesn't really need it because he's already promised who wins out of those guys. Okay? Usyk and Fury. So he's been given that opportunity because Usyk and Fury will go down in Saudi Arabia because the money is up for that fight and everything else runs a marathon. Okay? But him saying that, hey, I can't wait for the opportunity to fight Anthony Joshua, I say, why not? I would love to see that fight happen because it just makes whoever one step closer to the undisputed heavyweight crown. Why not? Those guys have never fought. Filip Hrgovic is still undefeated. You know what I mean? So, yeah, and he has the IBF mandatory. So he's the mandatory. He's up front. He will have it eventually. So everyone's in a good position at that point, at this point. But you guys tell me what you think of Filip Hrgovic stating that Anthony Joshua was one-dimensional with very little skill. Now he's a beast. Now he can show me at least bars what he can do so I can prove everyone wrong. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!